is the absolutely must show. Okay, hello everyone. This is Makiko from Reiki Lab. I have a special guest. This is ta-da!
Harris!
Harris! Harris, say
How
hi.
you doing?
I am so happy to have him today because we're gonna cover the one of the toughest topic. It's love. L-O-V-E, love.
I am so happy to be here today, Makiko. And I'm so happy that we're talking about love.
Yes, 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 yes.
I love love. Duh, but
This is exactly why I brought him, Harris. This is a perfect combination. You know why? Because I love to talk and love definition, but hey, love is not just a word. Yes, the love comes with every form, every expression, every way you could imagine. You could express, you feel, you experience love. Now, still, I like to start with something because people say, I love you, and you say, I love you back. And then, we have a heart mark everywhere, emoji, and all sorts of things. But then, have you ever thought about and stop and think, what the heck is love? What is love? They say, love yourself, love your planet, love neighbor like yourself. But
your neighbors. Yeah.
yeah,
Those are all wonderful teachings. Yeah.
it is. But then I encounter so many of my spiritual friends. They say, I cannot love myself. There's no way I could love myself. And then I stop and think, why can't you just love yourself? Right? And then we start to decompose what is a barrier to love yourself and what is love. Yeah, and then it's a tough one. Now we have like so-called unconditional love. Yeah, and then conditioned love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you break it down.
Yes, and then you kind of realize, there is a different kind of loves.
Yeah.
Then I going down to spiral that this is not really fun to dissect the love in this way. I like Harris's way. It's gonna go at the music and you feel it. Now, before I hand out to Harris, I'm gonna share a little secret with you about how I treat love or use love as a tool. It's not what you think. It's not like
I'm writing it down right here. So
I don't know actually what you're thinking, but it's probably less expected. So during my awakening process, so to me, awakening is to innately understand this life is not just it. Yeah, you have begin to understand you had as a lives. In the past, that's how people start, yeah. And then you realize later on, presence, there's another you in the present, another you, or more of you in the future. And you start to realize all of this coexist. But before going into that, the reason I begin to remember all the other selves, myself, my past lives, I started with love. I remember my past lovers. And then I remember way, way long time ago. And then the only reason I trusted my feeling because the feeling of love, the specific frequency of love. So this love is so specific that it can, the category of its own. I am not saying that's the best one. It's not, I'm not ranking. It's just quality and type. It's just so out there that I could call out the particular period in an individual, like this.
So it's a different frequency of love, as in a different particular frequency of love, as in.
And then intensity,
Mm.
mm. an emotion that I had then, I just could completely recreate right here now. And it's nothing equate to that anywhere, like, I know of, from this lifetime. So it's interesting. It's how powerful that is. And I don't have anything like that consistently connected that with other emotions such as fear or excitement or joy. I give you example. There's a one I can connect from which lifetime. When I ate raspberry, it was an amazing sequence of experience. And then I know someone gave me this raspberry the first time, and I fell in love with this person, but I can't remember. I can't remember when that is. But that's different type of more like a sensation. And it's different. So love to me was the cohesive tool to bring all of me to here in the present. So that's how strong love,
That
love.
that is a wonderful statement you just made there, because that is the power of love. Uniting, and you're saying you're uniting all yourselves, but that's the same the basis of love that I want to talk about, as in the unity that it can cause for everyone. You start talking about love being everything, and you realize that love is what actually joins everything together. It just melts everybody's hearts just melts together, and then you become one. So I'm glad you made that statement. You found that out within yourselves.
Yeah, I like the way you says it. I know you have the best way to describe. When you said it, I feel like I melted like a chocolate.
that's, that's
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 another magical food.
yeah. That's another wonderful word you just used there. Magical. Love is
Yeah.
magical. It's surprisingly magical. The leverage you have with love, you won't even be able to imagine until you kind of change your practice from what does not feel like love to your body, because we all feel things differently.
Hmm.
Feel is love for me might feel differently for someone else. They're different categories of love, you know.
That is true. That's exactly what I want to talk about. Harris, have you ever experienced this? I want to make sure it's not just me. It's Let's hypothetically someone come up to you, maybe someone, let's say not the current relationship, like I go back when you much younger, not like you're young now, but you're young, but
Well, I'm
much
young.
younger.
I'm just 16.
Super young time. If
Well,
somebody said, hey, I love you, and have you ever thought about you can say love you back just because you felt that the love you had that person is different. It's a love, but it's a different kind of love.
yes, and a lot of the times, myself personally, yeah, that someone would actually, let's use, for example, the falling in love, because that's a different aspect of the general grand love, right? So you have the human falling in love, because I'll call it the human falling in love. You have that in other places, but I just want to focus on the human falling in love. It is only enjoyable if the other partner loves you back the same. Other than that, it's a turmoil, because it's like you feel rejected, you feel you're not being completed. So when someone asks me in that way, I love you, and they're expecting me to say it back, or they're expecting someone else to say it back, and I don't feel that same thing. You know, it's in my case when they have done that, I actually lied. So, this is my case. I just say I love you too, but it was because I understood. I then I was
More from politeness, huh? Right?
I didn't want to say okay, I like you, and you know what I mean. So I had to say I love you too, but I don't think that person got that vibration from me because
Yeah.
hearts that are very intelligent, our hearts are very intelligent. The person would not have gotten that vibration from me, but what they would do is they will cover that up because they don't want to go there. That I'm not feeling the same way
Yeah.
because it will cause them pain, so they'll just take my word for it. With at least it helps them out temporarily, but not on the long run.
That's interesting you said that. So you assume the other person got the real message though. Yeah?
Deep inside, the heart got the message, but the mind always has programs to cover whatever the heart does.
Oh, that's a good point. I want to talk about that a little bit more. So you talked about
So
programming.
yeah, okay, let's say okay, you have um the in-love thing, one person falls in love with somebody else, and if that person, the partner returns that back, it's a wonderful feeling. You have this because it's like both of them are mirroring themselves. Because what that is when you fall in love with someone, it's really you're falling in love with yourself because that person is a mirror and is actually showing you what you like about yourself or what you would like to be or how you would like to vibrate. That person just vibrates that. So you take that in and you want to be close to that person because it kind of completes you. So it's actually a mirror. That person is doing you a favor, showing you the mirror on how you can love yourself. So you're saying I'm in love with that person. It's really I want to be in love with myself in that way. But it's a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful thing. A lot of people have written poems, whatnot, about that kind of love. Humanity is so crazy and gone gaga about that kind of love. You know, and it's a polarity based love. And when I say polarity, you have the negative side of it, where you have negative sides of it. One is when it's not returned.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. That person feels that pain and they're not complete because they keep trying to make the person in the mirror them, when really the mirror is just a reflection,
Mm-hmm.
something that they should find for themselves. But also you have jealousy and all the other emotions that could come from that, because it becomes a ownership thing. It becomes like an
Oh, you said it right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I own this. You're my wife. You're my husband. You're my girlfriend.
Yeah.
But dude, you're my girlfriend. That's my girlfriend. What do you do with my girlfriend? You know what I mean? And then the fight comes up.
It became like livestock, right? It's like ownership. Oh, hey, this is my land. This is my sheep.
My land. This is my sheep, and this and that's why we've had a lot of wars.
Yeah.
Troy, that was that type of war. There's so
Mm-hmm.
many wars that has been caused due to the in-love thing. So it's a polarity based thing. It's wonderful on the positive side, and then on the negative side, it could cause all those other catastrophes. Um, I mean, you
Yeah.
can do without it, and you cannot do without it. That kind of thing, you know.
So let's talk about that a little bit more because I sometimes I feel maybe because I see too much. Sometimes I feel, oh, this person and I have to have me by saying I love you because I feel the fear. I see the fear of this individual because if you don't have that person gonna become alone, right? That he or she become alone. So I have to have this. It's not because you want it, because the things that you don't want to be. It's almost,
It's kind of like you have a hole inside of you and you're trying to fill it out with
yeah. It's
that.
not because you want to become more of you, because if you don't have it, you become so dark, or it going to the place you don't want to be. So you have to have these things, have to have it, and then it become like a possession, obsession, and it become immediately from that point the relationship become less healthy.
Yeah, I had there was a type of that kind of love that I went through. It was intoxicating. It was
Mm-hmm.
beautiful at first. It was so beautiful, and I was playing with those type of things because I knew, I want to enjoy this, but I know that there would be some kind of breakup. There would be an end to this. So
Yeah.
I was actually analyzing. I was like the guinea pig for this. So I was analyzing every bit of that. It probably lasted for a few months, and it was so intoxicating. I'm like, oh my God, I can't do anything. I want to go there now. I want to go there. And I'm like, hey, hey, not there. You should have it here. I'm like, oh no, but I want that one. So I enjoyed it, and obviously nobody enjoys pain. So the painful part was I was laughing at myself, and I was like, you caused it yourself. You said you wanted.
Yeah, but people go, I mean, few months is not bad. People go for life
I
with
know.
it.
Yeah, yeah. Mine was a test run. Just I wouldn't really go to the. It was a
Well,
test.
well, that's good for you, but I won't take it so lightly, because what you went through was a crash course.
Yeah,
So
crash.
you have a now you, the more complete you.
Yeah.
So why the love becomes so, how do you say this? It's so powerful, unbelievably magical, but it's also addictive or obsessive things.
Okay. I think I wanted to start with I'll go there now with the the general love, the basis of love itself, the core fundamental of love, what love is, you know, or you could say what I know or I believe or I see, my perspective of what love is. And
Mhm.
then from that, then you can then take all the other parts of love. You could take it from that, and we can then analyze why we have those parts of love. So love itself, the emotional scale, there is, as humans, we have so much emotions within this emotional scale. You got it ranging from a depression, which is the lowest on the negative side, and then going up to um, excitement and the
Mhm.
highest of ecstasy, and that
Mhm.
type of thing. You see, the whole emotions that we are playing with here, I'd like to call all of them love. Everything is love. Everything is love. Vibration is love.
Mm.
Everything that is a vibration is love, and everything is a vibration. So
Yeah.
it's just what kind of vibration is it? What kind of love is it? You see, it's kind of if I say hate is part of love, some people would be like, how can hate be part of love? There are some people, because of love, they've hated so many other people. So hate came from that standing vibration, which you call love. Everything came from that. Like when they say we are all made out of love,
Right.
they say we are all made out of love, and that love is unconditional, which includes everything. So there is no condition to that love. Now, how other emotions are formed is when we put conditions to that love. And what type of condition are we, or conditioning are we putting to that love? I'm talking about general love, general unconditional love. Now, a conditioned love I can call human love.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type where, I love you and I would only love you if you love me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you don't
Mm-hmm.
love me if you don't know me, I'm not gonna love you. I would only try to love you when I finish liking you. If I don't like you, I can't love you. There's always a condition to
Yeah.
love. That's a different, that's within this general love, because this general love is everything and it's unconditional love. And if we're going to speak in terms of metaphysics, or and saying all that is the one, which we are all connected, which we are all from the same source, that
Mm-hmm.
one is love. We are all these parts of this love, and that one is unconditional because it contains everything,
Mm-hmm.
contains all that is. So it's an unconditional love. Now every emotion formed from that is a conditioned emotion. So it makes it a bit easier for us to say, okay, that's why we're all trying to go back to unconditional love. That's why we're all trying to go back to, you're finding the pieces of yourselves, your other incarnations. How do you find it? How does that magnet, how does it stick? It sticks by love. And you're not talking about a conditioned love. You have to expand your heart. You have to be unconditional. Otherwise, you wouldn't see the furthest parts of yourselves. You're just going to see some parts of yourself and then you're conditioning it. Like some people would say, because we've played the bad guys and the good guys before. So
Mm-hmm.
people will be like, no, no, I don't want to meet my bad guys that I've played. You know? I don't. Yeah, that's all well and good because nobody wants to meet the bad guy, so they condition themselves, and I just want to meet the good ones, and that's very,
Mm-hmm.
very okay. But then if you're talking about unconditional love, you could have a premise where you can meet anyone because
Yeah.
all you. That's unconditional love, and it doesn't mean that when you meet them, then you're gonna start creating something bad or playing a bad game. Or
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with polarity. It's just like, oh,
Well,
cool, unconditional love.
yeah. I think you hit the point because, like, we all came from the source, and whatever source created with love. So every single creation is a
Is
product of love,
yeah.
and unconditional love is I love you because you exist.
Mm-hmm.
If from that sense, yes, that is the most wonderful energy and frequency, the ultimate
It is.
state you want to be, and every deviation, like you say, or condition are basically sub or divergent of unconditional love.
Yeah.
Thus, you could say the love equal unconditional love is basically the source of everything.
Thank you. I will give you another example here. Okay. Before we incarnate, we are part of this gigantic energy,
Mm-hmm.
soul, oversoul, all the way to whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what do we do to incarnate in the physical realm? What we do is we condition our love. So this is an interesting one because we have to restrict ourselves because of the type of game we're coming to play.
Mm-hmm.
Game of forgetfulness. So how do you play a game of forgetfulness? You cannot be unconditional, like to go play that. So you kind of have to piece yourself a bit to say, okay, you cut yourself, you restrict yourself a bit, saying if I'm going in there, that place is already restricted. It's not like you restrict yourself before you come into birth. You know you're going to be restricted because you're going to play a game where it's restriction. I look at my son, and I know I felt him when he was in spirit before he was in the womb, and while he was in the womb, I knew how unconditional he was and still is. I would like to say so, but his baby is just 1 year and something, and he's got conditions as well because he's it's not by intention. It's just the energy that we're dealing with. This is the early stages of 4D. It has
Mm-hmm.
conditions on it. It's not everything. It has access to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because within itself is a condition. So it's not about good or bad. It's just about what it is. We have to have conditions to experience some certain things.
Absolutely. I mean, if you don't know conditional love, how would you understand unconditional love, right?
Thank you very much. How would we understand unconditional love? We'll just be right there, like, okay, with unconditional love, that's what it is, but we
Yeah.
wouldn't go that much depth into it. It's like light and darkness. I mean, if we don't have darkness, how will we understand, how will we enjoy the light the way we do? So,
Yeah.
so that just helps to say there's it's not about polarity, it's just about what we are doing. So really, me on this earth, this incarnation, I know it's a restricted version of all of me. All of me includes you and the listeners,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I cannot be all of me right now. I want to be this tiny me right here.
Yeah.
Connect to all of me. I'm connecting to you.
Yes. Because otherwise you can have this joy of finding each other being connected, right? If we are completely oneness like a water at all the time, when we meet, we feel nothing.
It's boring.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Why you wanna send to become oneness? It's all boring. It's all same.
So, so that's the game, and that's how we derived all these other types of love or all these other types of emotions. I mean, with the in human case, we have so much emotions. I mean, some other beings might not have; they might just have one, two, three, or whatnot. But humanity, this is what we came to explore. We are emotional beings. What's up, Eric? Eric always says I was to stress that we are emotional beings. Eric,
No, who's Eric?
Eric Meadows. Is it Eric Meadows? Eric is a friendly ghost. Or how
Hmm.
should I call you? Guys, check out Eric. Check out channeling Eric.
Okay.
He's very good. He's been helping a lot of people. So he channels through some channels or some psychics. So and then his mother is there. His mother asks a lot of the questions. So he brings in a lot of um Earth humans that have actually lived here, like Gandhi,
Oh, Gandhi. I love
Muhammad,
Gandhi.
Jesus,
Yeah.
and it brings a lot. It brings in the Greys. It brings in so many people. Even Hitler. Yeah, Hitler. That was a very interesting one. So you guys can
Does he
check that
he
out.
has a love life?
He must do. I mean, it's made from love. Everybody would have some kind of love life. So, like, what he stresses is like we are emotional beings. First of all, that's what we really came here to play. And all those emotions they derived from us breaking down unconditional love to conditions, not in a negative way, but in a constructive way, because we want to go into some specific experience
Yeah.
and grow from that specific experience. So I would now go into a conditioned love. So we say from unconditional love, a conditioned love.
Mhm.
What most people are used to is that conditioned love. And the only time that they would experience unconditional love is through from their mother. Mothers have been known to actually just give unconditional love. Sweet mother, unconditional love. My baby is ugly, but I still love him. Stuff like that. And that's the only place that a lot of humans learned unconditional love, and it's not enough because we are unconditional love. It is something that should be taught in the schools.
Mhm.
That's
Yes.
yeah, because if we can understand that that's what we came from, that's what we're going back to. It's a reference point for us all the time. We tend to just want to love anyone, and we just want to do our best to say, why don't I love, why can't I just show love to this, why must I condition this? And then if your conditioning for a perfect, wonderful, glorious reason that would help your own evolution, that's fine, as long as you're doing yourself and the whole human population a good deal, then that's wonderful, you know. And then if it's not, and if you care about that, if it's not, if then it doesn't serve you, if it's not serving you. But if it serves you, it serves you. If it doesn't serve you, then you wonder, because a lot of people, they wonder why they have conflicts, or why this issue happened, why this problem
Yeah,
came up, and they always, people would always wonder, they never get the answers, and the answers lie within unconditional love. There's so many things that could be fixed with unconditional love. Within unconditional love, that's where you have compassion. That's how we got that wonderful emotion called, you know, compassion. You know
yeah,
what I mean? That is a very strong emotion that actually unites. And that's within unconditional love. If you did
right.
not, if you can't give compassion with a conditioned love, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's
yeah,
conditioned.
I yeah, I agree. I mean, so I like compassion because unconditional love to me is very much non-active, just
Very, yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, everything.
state of a being. Yeah, state of the feeling of beingness. But compassion is a forgiveness with unconditional love has action, active part of it. You cannot be just compassionate. You decide, you choose to be compassionate.
Yeah,
Um, so I like that, and then I like the way you said it. That in a school system, in a much early on, right? That need to be taught. We all came from the source, the one place of filled with love, and the force of unconditional love energy. We became this vessel. We decided to go into this vessel, comes out lots of different limitation and condition because that's the only way you could express who we are
yeah.
individually.
Individuality. That's the only way you can have
You could
that.
have that, yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna be all the same kind of water molecule that what are we here for?
I mean, that's another thing on its own. You have some beings that they are a whole constellation, and that's a lot of energies, a lot of beings in one, and that's almost like unconditional, but it's still conditional because it's not everything.
Yeah. Oh,
And,
that's
and,
a good
and
one. A huge condition, right? In a way.
in a way, and it's for experience. It's all
It's
it's
just the vessel is much bigger and more many, but it's in a one container
exactly, and it's all done for the experience
for a
of it.
reason. Yes, that's also experience. And we probably already done that too.
Yeah.
Um, so now going back to specific love, which is I always mm, embrace. No matter how much I understand or want it to be this unconditional love state, as long as I'm still in this form, I will embrace a specific love because
Okay.
that's where, at least to me, find the one of the highest joy,
Okay.
um, and I guess magical feeling, so to say.
Okay. I
Yeah.
want to, as you say, putting the action on it, and showing love. As we use the example of compassion, like showing love. Really, people want to know, what does that mean? How am I regarding this person? And that's when, that's how you can say if you're showing love, or how you are showing love.
Mm,
Within love, there is a respect for the person, there's
yes.
compassion for the person, there is acknowledgement of the person, regards for the person, and there is there is one very core base element, the connection within yourself and that person.
Mm-hmm.
That is like the strongest one. And when people know that they are very connected, it's easy for them to love the other person or show the other person love. When people do not know that they're very connected, it's not that easy. Then they tend to go towards the conditioned love or conditioned affection towards whoever is there. And I don't know them. Why should I? Whatever. I'm
Or
moving.
sometimes opposite frequency, which is a fear.
Yeah, that's another. That's actually another topic um, within love, because you do have the emotional scale, you have the positive side, and then you have the negative side. Now, on the negative side, I like to call that inverted love.
Mm.
It's kind of like it's love, but then it's the back of love. It's twisted. Now, which and when you call fear out, when you call fear out, our hearts is used to feeling that love, going searching for love or giving love. That's basically what we really. That's what most people want. That's what most people want. But I mean, we have created, let's say, negative emotions like fear, and some instance would come instead of that. We have the program that has actually helped us create that fear due to survival reasons, fear of the dinosaur coming in. So
Yeah.
to warn us, hey, don't go there. If we didn't have that fear, we'll probably just be eaten and then reincarnate again, which is cool. But, we had that fear for a reason back in the caveman era,
Mm-hmm.
carrying that fear over and over and over again. It's just an inverted. It's a way of using love in a different way as a messenger. So that's where fear would come in. But most people don't know this. So fear it's kind of like a huge deal for them. It's
Mm.
separate from love. It has nothing to do. It just comes from the outside and it's scaring the bejesus out of me, and I'm gonna run away like a heart attack or shock. Really, but really, it's just it's still love. It's just love that has been inverted, that has been used in a certain way to serve us back in the days, and it can still serve us now to tell us that you still have this, and when you do have this, you're not in love. I think when you're within love and you're feeling love, you are in alignment, so you are
Mm-hmm.
kind of connected with your spirit. So you're when you say alignment, you're where everything flows, you're where all your success and everything happens for you. You don't even have
Yeah.
to lift a finger. Love, when you go into love, sorry, when you go into fear, when fear comes, the fear is really just telling you, hey dude, you shifted from your alignment. You're
Yeah.
feeling me
Yeah.
right. You're not gonna get what you're looking for by feeling me. you know, get back there, buddy. And then so that's really what fear, how fear can serve us now. Until then, fear no longer comes up because there's no need for it to come and warn us and come and be a
Mm-hmm.
messenger to say, hey, you're moving away from your alignment. And I want to put that there now because alignment just came in, your connection to who you really are and to all that is, which is everybody else in spirit. That is love. When you're having those feelings, the positive emotions, you're having your alignment. But human beings can have emotions and then have what you call it, senses on top of that. They could have like three emotions going on at the same time, or you know what I mean. But so you when you're within your alignment, you would know you probably will be balanced. If you could be feeling love, you don't have to be giving it, but you're just there, you're in that state of bliss, or you're in that state of comfort, or you know
Mm-hmm.
that is your alignment. And now things like fear and you know anger or jealousy, or they just tell you that you've actually moved from that alignment. that is their role. That is their primary role. And a lot of people don't know this because fear and anger and they bring other stuffs. They bring lessons with them.
Mm-hmm.
Before you know that, there might be some lessons that you want to explore. There might be that you still want to explore some negative situations. You still want to explore them so you could grow out of it and you understand it and then you accept it and then you change the basis of your feeling negative towards it and it becomes neutral, or you could even transmutate it into something that is positive. So some
Mm-hmm.
people will not right away get to, oh, it's just a messenger, I'm going here. You know, they would want to face that. Oh my God, I'm angry. I got to leave this. And then when they finish with that emotion, they want to explore why they got angry. They want to go into all those stuff. Some people still want to go through that, but I would say at this point in time, it's a waste of time to actually
Yeah.
do all that. But it is not a waste of time. It is perfect for you to feel them if they come because they're telling you something that, hey, you still have this within your programs that you've created in the past or whatnot. So
Mhm.
feel it, allow it to go. Don't add more to it. Don't get the mind into it and say, oh, he did that. Why did he do that? Why didn't I do that? All those things, it just add to it. Just allow the feeling to take its place. And then when it's done, you say, okay, thank you very much. That's fine. I understand. You know, I understand why I have this feeling. I understand what has happened. And that's really what we want to do. We want to understand these things and accept them. Um, that's what people are trying to do. That's where people are trying to get to. Because what people are doing instead of that, what some people are doing instead of that is fighting this and battling it or running away from it. Like fear.
Mm.
Fear is a good example. Most people run away from what they fear. Most people fear what they do not understand.
Yeah.
And it tells you a lot about condition and unconditional, restrictive and what is like free and
Mm-hmm.
unrestrictive. If you're in a box and this is restrictive and this is what you've always known, and there's something outside there and it's coming and you really don't know what it is. The old version, I would use myself as an example, the old version of me will run away.
Yeah, but no, I hear you. It's interesting you said that because a lot of time we fear because we don't know enough. Either we don't know enough that subject or person you're facing, which is like you say, it's a mirror. So we haven't discovered part of ourselves. We're so scared to open up that treasure box because we don't know what's waiting inside.
Yeah,
It's just simple if you could sit down or just open and without any judgment and
yeah.
take a look at it.
And that's why they say information, knowledge is really key. Knowledge kind of open doors. It
Yes.
expands your mind, and it expands your reaction when situations come. Because if you had knowledge, like you said, if they had knowledge of whatever is coming, they wouldn't really have that fear. They would just, okay, they wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
But if they don't have the knowledge, it's kind of like, what do I do? I don't know, man. Many things has happened in the past. I don't know. So knowledge is a big thing. Information, knowledge. Of course, you're there to truthfully discern your knowledge, to know if it resonates with you, but don't never stop yourself from seeking knowledge. Was it something in the? I'll use a religious, the Bible. Oh, Jesus is right here, anyways.
Hello, Jesus.
In the Bible, in the my people die because of the lack of knowledge. I don't know what part of the Bible is, but it's so profound, and that what that means, because of the lack of knowledge, it ends,
Yeah.
So
It's called ignorance.
yeah, then you could give it a tag of ignorance, or there are many times when I was growing up, I tell my friends, I'm just gonna claim ignorant. I was
Yeah.
like, and then I get away with it.
Yeah. That's a good example. Yes.
If I knew better, I'll do
Well,
better.
once you know, and here comes a responsibility, right?
Yeah,
Because if you don't know, you be perhaps excused.
you
But
could.
if you know and intentionally doing over and over, it become the part of cause and effect.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Your conscious mind is what really spits the fire or activate what can happen to you, because that's the node of the creation that will really spit that fire and activate that creation coming, because your unconscious and subconscious, it's always creating. We have everything around us that's going on, but there's things that your primary creation comes from your conscious mind. So if the conscious mind says, I really did not know about that, it can feel and have this a reality of, you know, being let free, because there is no responsibility of that. But
Mhm.
if the conscious mind knows that, it can't really lie that it doesn't know it. You know what I mean? So it's within the creational mix, and you have to be responsible for that.
Yeah. You know, when I like the things happen, for example, let's say you fall in love with one person, and then you could fall in love with the same person again because you almost peeled another layer and you see the different level of the person or aspect of the person. Perhaps before you didn't like that aspect, but because you grow, I grow.
Mm,
You know, it kind of bring the more integrated as a part into this mixed up pound of hot fudge of, like you said, the chocolate
mhm,
of
mm.
that melting love. And eventually, I guess, as we ascend, it become humongous pot of the hot chocolate.
Yeah, yeah,
And it melts everybody into the pot. So now that's a journey of its own. But I love the way you say everything is love, even all the energies, emotions are love.
yeah,
From that angle, actually, that's kind of oneness angle in a sense.
yeah.
We could treat all the
Definitely.
emotion in a lot more loving way. Like when you have a fear or sadness or depression, you don't need to put in a container and shush away. You actually welcome it
Love it.
and love it. Yeah.
Love it to death, because really it's gonna die in seconds when you sorry. Not for real. 'Cause the love, the energy, love, that emotion is magical. It is
Mhm.
just so magical. It's to understand it, you kind of have to put yourself in the shoes and practice it. Let's say you're some situation is happening and it's not really what you want, it's not really what you're begging for, it's not. If you can just remember and consciously just remember, say, let me try that, let me just jokingly just love this, and just love it for no reason, see what happens.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I say this because that's how I roll.
That's where you roll.
so so I kind of I've lived through this, and I've seen it happen, and I know that's how it kind of works, and in my own way. But it all boils down to that: when you add love to anything, it dissolves it. Love is something that resolves everything and unites it. It's integrated. It's the uh, uh, it's the strongest integrating
Is
energy.
it you, Harris, talking or Jesus talking? It sounds a lot like him.
Okay. When I said, I told Jesus, I told everyone else that they could talk through me. This is like he's going to be speaking with you. It's not like I'm going into a trance meditation and trance channeling. I am here like my higher self, and then anyone else can would have said anything from me. I don't know. I just know they're around. So sometimes they just
Because you're like, you know what love can do. That's lots very much his teaching, but that's pretty cool. I mean, why not? You are Jesus himself, or even better.
yeah, it's a grand subject. Jesus was all about love. Everything was love. Say love your enemies as you love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That is a deep sentence. And when
Yeah.
you sometimes when people come up to me and they in the act like where there it's a situation going on, and then I say, are you Christian, or you have say, yeah, I am, and you got, okay, love your enemies as you love yourself.
That's right.
And then that really takes it back. They just stop whatever it is that they were doing, and they just go to one corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just think about it for a while, like, hmm. They even, some of them even probably say, Jesus, why you gotta say, why do I want to love this dude?
Hey, but understanding and
What it
reading
is.
its teaching is extremely profound. It's the hardest one. The simple teaching is the hardest one to practice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it
It-
has no time, limit to it. It's just we could apply this with anything.
yeah, and that's what Jesus led his life with, unconditional love.
Hmm.
Conditional love all through, and I would say everything. I mean, um, I give this one unconditional love. Anything around me, unconditional love. It's
Yeah.
it's it's a wonderful practice. It's a wonderful way of to live your life. Because I've been in this for a while, and that's how I would stumble on aspects where I wasn't really loving unconditionally, where I was only loving because of one condition, and then I would now walk with that aspect and see, how can I move away from condition to unconditioned? Because once I do that, once I'm able to do that, I just find some other huge aspect of myself. I just
Yeah,
grow more. I'm like,
that is true. Will immediately bring you to the state of wisdom. So you are not chasing anything. You are not hurry up and fulfill something, the lack of anything, because there's a no,
you're full.
nothing to fix,
Nothing.
nowhere to go, nothing you must do, right?
Yeah,
So you could be present
yeah.
and be here.
And it makes it easy for excitements to come. Oh, I always sometimes when I go into a meditation, and let's say I am not able to, I'm like, oh, I just maybe dealt with some situations, and my energy is kind of like in the middle, or belt. It's not negative or positive, but it doesn't know which one to go to yet. And I'm in a meditation, and you know I'm trying to assert maybe laughter, I'm trying to assert excitement, but it's too far from where I am. you know I learned that the thing to go to is love. It's I
Mm.
start thinking, I start going to my heart. I really go to my heart, and start feeling love for those that I actually have loved in the days when I used to do conditional love to some.
Mm.
It's very easy because you're very connected to them, so it's just like frequency knows each other, and then resonance. It's easy, and then I go to my mom, I go to my son, and it just fills my heart with bundle of love, and from there that love just takes over, and then I could just spread that love to everyone on the whole planet.
I
And
like
that,
that.
yeah, and that kind of balances me, and after I do that, it's so easy for excitement to come. Anything, I'm laughing, I'm just, oh,
Yeah.
so love is a medicine. It's like the greatest healer. It is the greatest healer.
Yeah.
Because we are healers. You are a healer, a great one for that matter. I am a healer as well. What do we use to heal? How do we participate in a healing? It's
From
all
heart.
it's your heart. It's all love. It's
Yes.
it's unconditional love where the heart is opened up. There is no this or that. There is no mental facets of the mental. Is, oh, I love everything, and then the heart.
No, yeah, get rid of the monkey mind, right?
You know,
because I think that's a natural state of us. It's a real natural state in love. That's our true natural state.
that's the true natural state. I mean,
Yeah,
that's how we're in as I am, talking, and as you talking, and our higher selves are talking from, as we're talking. And
yeah.
if we take out our physical self and physical mind, and we leave these incarnation, say Earth, let's say early 40s, I call it, and we're right there in spirit, we would feel unconditional love.
Oh,
That's
yes.
the status quo.
I know so for sure.
And the excitement is like, oof,
Oh,
that's,
it's incredible. It's
you know what I mean?
incredible. I will have to tell you another time, but it's it's amazing out there. So,
Yeah.
Harris, we probably better close off. It's been a while since
Time flies when you're
time
having.
flies when you have a. But
I thought we were
like,
just talking for like 5 minutes right there. How many minutes we done?
well, the time is. You remember, time is a social agreement.
Oh, that's true.
We could have done this forever, but it still feel like a 1 second. But I
Give
want to
glory
say,
to Caesar.
I
Yeah.
want to say, my wish is if people took out their shelf and just speak from their hearts, there will be so much better place. We will have an amazing place to live, and it's heaven right here.
Right here. Eric is seconding that because that's what Eric likes to say. If we can just all be in that heart. I like to, even though my higher self, I am my higher self, even though I can say that, I like to say all the beings that are present with me, or because it's nice for other people to know these beings, because there's so much information, so much knowledge, so much that can help humanity.
True.
Not only
There are a lot of beings helping, assisting us, right, in a fourth dimensional form, or the spirits and light being. Everybody has all those being spirit guides, and then being just or just loving being. If we
yeah,
just open up, and it doesn't need to be channeler or a special talented person,
yeah.
because they speak right here, and you just probably don't know you're channeling. But if you feel good, if you want to speak certain thing, you just speak as it is
It
without
just comes out
sugarcoat or anything. Just talk.
right now. I want to add one thing before we go, because I've been holding my rose quartz. Actually, it's Luna's rose quartz, but it's ours. It's just so wonderful. I love these rose quartz. These beans right here, these crystals right here, they deal with matters of the heart. Archangel Gabriel also deals with matters of the heart, just so you guys know. Call on him for that. But if you want to get, if you don't have a rose quartz, get one and help yourself. It's for the heart. It opens up the heart. It allows you to see more love. It makes it easier for you to play the program of feeling love and getting into that love, as opposed.
Mm. And then I'm going to introduce my Tibetan bowl
Yep.
with the yellows. I hope they could hear the vibration. It's wonderful. Thank you, Harris. And thank you all the being.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. Love you all, humanity. Love is wonderful, it's magical. You get miracles every day. Everything, it resolves everything, everything. Love is the answer for everything. Unconditional love. It is just beautiful. Thank you all.
Love. Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.